If an object were to fall nearby, it would move faster than the speed of sound. The resulting explosion is tremendously powerful, producing a noise reminiscent of thunder. The scale of the event was immense. We're looking at 26 craters created from a single occurrence. Every minute brings the chance for discoveries that could define a century. Over 500,000 asteroids have been documented so far. We hope to eventually find a meteorite that proves we are not alone in the universe. It's astonishing to think that with the snap of a finger, vast portions of the Earth could be instantly affected. Our solar system is filled with massive chunks of rock drifting through space, some of which occasionally collide with our planet, causing catastrophic impacts on Earth's surface. Could a collision with a large asteroid wipe out life as we know it, and along with it, human civilization? What connection do we have with these celestial travelers? These cosmic wanderers have quietly drifted through the solar system for thousands or even millions of years until caught by Earth's gravity. Following their paths, we travel through Argentina, Chile, and Colombia, joining dedicated meteor hunters who devote their lives to uncovering the secrets of these extraterrestrial rocks. Our journey begins in the peaceful town of Gono, Argentina, home to fewer than 10,000 residents. About 4,000 years ago, this tranquil landscape was dramatically altered when a massive asteroid weighing roughly 800 tons fragmented upon entering Earth's atmosphere. This meteor shower devastated everything in its path, leaving a lasting mark on the region. Local legends speak of a calamity descending from the sky. These stories, passed down through generations, trace back to the remnants of this cataclysmic event. Several meteorites scattered around Campo del Cielo were discovered across an area of approximately 20,000 square kilometers. Among them is El Chaco, the world's second-largest meteorite, weighing over 81,000 pounds, equivalent to 3 city buses. This region has been preserved as a natural park, safeguarding this precious legacy as evidence of the potential threat asteroids pose to life on Earth. About 4,000 years after the Great Impact, we explore the area with 2 researchers meticulously studying this violent period in the history of the American continent. Over the years, thousands of fragments of varying sizes have been found nearby. From the crater's width, scientists estimate the meteor that struck here measured roughly 4 meters in diameter and weighed about 60 tons. Some of its mass scattered around the craters, while other portions vaporized upon impact. The sheer force unleashed was incredible. 26 craters formed by a single event demonstrate an enormous release of energy. The 6 largest craters resulted from impacts releasing about 2 kilotons of energy each. Keep in mind, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima released less than 1 megaton of energy. Altogether, the energy unleashed across the 26 craters exceeded 1 megaton. We begin at the first discovered crater, designated Crater 1, surrounded by cables. We had to take extra precautions as the wires interfered with our magnetic readings. Clearing all the cables and nails from the surface required intense effort. The crater was so massive that it took at least 15 days of hard work to study. This year we resumed work early in the day, but the extreme heat forced us to pause at noon. Thanks to our measurements, we could make the most of daylight and continue in the evening. This site serves as an open-air laboratory, allowing us to study the craters and calculate the energy released using various methods. Most craters around the world are circular, with masses that are not locally sourced. Here, however, we can analyze both the crater and the mass that created it, enabling us to understand the impact of such a massive object and the tremendous energy it released. Through scientific research, we estimate that we've uncovered about 40% of the available knowledge. There's still much we don't know. We can make educated guesses about the Campo phenomenon, but the full reality of the mass that struck here remains unknown. It's important to honor the local people who pioneered studies in this area. Harsh winds and high temperatures make this a challenging environment. Many locals have left and some are elderly, so much of the work falls to young scientists like us. Unlike the early observers, we have roads, resources, and the ability to continue exploring. This is a unique phenomenon, and remembering those who first documented it is essential. Even though trees could be cut or land used for production, potentially destroying hidden treasures beneath. Today we can observe, study, and preserve this mystery. About half of Campo del Cielo is still waiting to be examined, but we hope to continue exploring, both personally and professionally. Each September, the people of Gono host the National Meteorite Festival, attracting thousands of visitors eager to celebrate this extraordinary celestial event. Seconds later, thunder echoes through the sky because sound travels much slower than light. If an object falls nearby, it can reach speeds exceeding the speed of sound, generating a massive explosion and a shock wave. In Siberia, such an event lasted 3 minutes. Astronomers first discovered asteroids orbiting between Mars and Jupiter in 1801. Since then, over 500,000 asteroids have been identified, most of which are larger than a kilometer in size. If such a massive asteroid were to strike Earth, the consequences could be catastrophic. This is why observatories in places like Hawaii and Sagra are dedicated to tracking near-Earth objects that could pose future threats. Experts estimate that once every 100 million years, a large celestial body could collide with Earth, triggering climate changes that last for thousands of years and wiping out much of life. The last such event occurred 65 million years ago. While some may think we have another 35 million years before the next major collision, there's no certainty. Large objects could strike as early as tomorrow. Astronomers monitor the skies and can confidently say that in the next 50 years, no asteroid larger than a kilometer is expected to threaten Earth. Here, we see a beautifully preserved crater formed by a relatively small object. Experts suggest that the asteroid that struck here measured around 13 meters in diameter, yet its impact velocity was so immense that the damage is still visible today. The crater is truly spectacular. Books don't compare to seeing this natural wonder firsthand. I estimate that about 20,000 tons of rock were displaced here. This enormous amount of rock was hurled during the meteor impact explosion. Moving such massive quantities requires tremendous energy, and all of it originated from a single space rock that created this enormous crater. The site remains remarkably well preserved. Our planet is constantly bombarded by tons of small debris, visible as shooting stars at night. Occasionally, some fragments reach Earth's surface, though identifying them among terrestrial rocks is extremely difficult. However, in the southern Atacama region, these meteorites are easier to spot. Traveling about 125 miles north of the Mackay crater toward the village of San Pedro de Atacama, we meet a meteor hunter with an impressive collection of extraterrestrial rocks, Rodrigo Martinez. "My name is Rodrigo Martinez," he says, "and I manage this meteorite museum." The collection began in the 1980s, when my brother Edmundo researched meteorites for his thesis. I joined him on those field trips as a child, developing a deep passion for studying meteorites and understanding their role in the formation of our solar system. He explains it's astronomy but looking down instead of up. Over 27 years, I've collected roughly 3,500 to 3,600 fragments. Among the most fascinating are carbon-rich meteorites. As a marine biologist, I'm particularly drawn to these because they carry evidence of life. They come from asteroids where carbon compounds were abundant, which are essential for life, including amino acids, the building blocks of proteins. The San Pedro de Atacama Meteorite Museum provides a compelling glimpse for anyone curious about meteorites and the origins of life in our solar system. Even though the landscape itself is awe-inspiring, each rock tells a story about how the solar system came to be, from simple beginnings to complex celestial processes. Hunting for meteorites is an adrenaline-filled adventure. For Rodrigo, the ultimate hope is to find a meteorite that proves we are not alone in the universe. A fragment that might even carry signs of life from another world, perhaps from Mars. Tomorrow, the search continues in pristine areas, exploring fields and open plains where meteorites are most likely to be found. The Atacama Desert is rich in meteorites, not because more fall here, but because fragments are exceptionally well preserved over time. This accumulation makes it a hotspot for discovery. Rodrigo carefully identifies potential meteorites, dark, rounded rocks with the right characteristics. Using a magnet, he can detect iron content, confirming extraterrestrial origin. Each fragment carries essential information, frozen for 4.5 billion years, offering insights into the early solar system and the formation of protoplanets. The ultimate target in the search for life would be a sedimentary Mars meteorite, rocks formed through processes similar to Earth's, where life may have once existed. Our journey then takes us to Colombia, outside the city of Cauy. On the afternoon of July 6, 2007, a massive fireball streaked across the Cauca Valley, causing shockwaves and tremors felt by locals. Traveling north of Cali toward Buga, we trace the path of this extraordinary event. In 2 million years of human habitation, an event of this magnitude had not been recorded in recent memory. Yet smaller occurrences remind us of the persistent risk posed by meteorites, asteroids, and comets. These celestial impacts can produce planetary-scale damage, and Earth's history shows that many past meteor events have wiped out large portions of life. Witnesses recall the day vividly. One person describes seeing an object fall at incredible speed, producing a bright light, black smoke, and a glowing fragment. Moments later, a thunder-like explosion reverberated across the area, repeating several times with a powerful echo. The 2007 meteor in Colombia didn't just alarm rural residents. Small rock fragments traveled miles, striking rooftops in Cali. Near miss with potentially deadly consequences. Meteorites are rare occurrences, but when they do happen, they offer invaluable lessons about the universe. Observing the night sky, tracing stars, and studying celestial objects millions of light years away is mesmerizing. Yet these objects are part of our cosmic family, sharing the same universe as us.